Hey folks, Matt Leger here with Maple Grove Productions, and we're working on our Hugelkultur mounds. We decided to set these up for some annual and perennial planting as well as our fruit trees. So being that it's the fall, we're almost in October now, it's time to start getting ready for this stuff. So we've laid out our logs. They're in chunks of maybe, 4 or 5 feet, spread out. Each between the gaps here are about maybe 3 feet. I have to go space those out a little bit more with the tape, but basically the idea here is normally with a hugel mound you want to have it one solid, connection of rotting wood or branches or debris, whatever, scraps. But here, since we're planting fruit trees, we want to make sure that we can plant them year one. And yes, I know I'm impatient, but I want to get those fruit trees in the ground. They take so long to mature and start producing fruit that you don't want to wait too long. We want to get them in the ground now so they start producing within a few years. So that's what we're doing here between with the gaps, is that's where the trees will go. It will be a nice, high enough mound, maybe 2 or 3 feet high, so there'll be lots of soil in there for the tree to grab onto with its roots. The idea is that if you plant it right on top here, it's going to be too unstable. There's going to be too many gaps, which we're going to try and take the pockets of air out as much as possible and fill it up with stuff, but even this is cedar wood, so we probably shouldn't use that. Wouldn't be too bad if it stayed in one chunk, but it is cedar wood is allelopathic, so we don't want our soil to be too acidic by the time we're done. From what I understand, as long as it's not chipped, it should be fine. If it stays on logs like this, it would be okay. It would contain the oil and whatnot. It's more the live trees that pose the biggest problem, but we're not going to take any chances. We're going to set it up right the first time, and then we'll benefit from it for years to come, hopefully. So you can see there's nice fungus growing on that one. Some of these are in various stages of decomposition. Lots of moss on that one there. So this will make a nice nutrient-rich, microbial-rich soil by the time it breaks down in a few years. And yeah, like I said, we're going to put our trees probably on the end. Another one here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trees, maybe 7. So that's where we're at. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to start marking our line here. On this side, on the close side of the hugel mounds, is going to be our path. And thank you to my friend Al for helping me with this process and all the research I've done on top of that. I think I've finally figured it out and cracked the nut on this. I understood hugelkultur, I understood fruit trees, but I had never understood how they work together until now. So basically along this side of it, we're going to dig a fairly narrow path, not too deep, but enough to take then that soil and put it over top. That's where we're going to get the fill for our hugel mounds. It's going to be the pathway, and the pathway we're then going to fill up with probably wood chips. Since I got myself a small chipper, and we've got lots and lots of branches around here to make chips out of, that's probably what we'll do. So I've got my little helpers here with me. I've got Zoe and Vesa over there. They're going to help me do this stuff. One person's going to be the hammerer with the sledgehammer. The other one's going to be the stick person. I don't know if we have enough twine to go all the way down, but we're just going to outline our path, and so we get a better idea, a better visual of how big the hugel mounds are going to be, how wide the path's going to be. And of course, with my trusty measuring tape here, we'll be able to measure that out as accurately as possible. And there's a cat in those bushes. It's our cat. He's doing his job, hunting mice and voles. All right, so let's get started. One last thing here as well is we got a shed delivered, and it was getting sent to garbage or to the landfill, as far as I know, if we didn't take it. So it's still in very good shape. It's going to get transformed into a chicken coop that we will winterize and insulate. But yeah, for the price of the delivery, we got this thing brought all the way out here in the country, and we just need to get it in place. We're thinking probably on that side of the cedars now. Originally, I wanted to put the chicken coop back there where those cinder blocks are. Actually, was all set up. And we're gonna put the chicken coop probably on the other side of these cedars here. Originally, we were gonna put it in the back, but we decided since this little cedar forest is not really being used for anything else, we might as well put it to use. And because the cedars kind of took over and destroyed everything on the ground, well, not destroyed, but they don't really allow for much else to grow on the forest floor. It's perfect scratching place for the chickens. So this chicken coop, or makeshift chicken coop, is going to go over there beside our compost system, our 3-stage compost back there. We're going to make a little hole here. We might even do that today. Make a little hole like right around there to get through to that area. Maybe put a little archway or a gate at some point. And yeah, originally, last time I talked about this, we were going to put our trees up over there, but there's a couple of problems. One, the power line, which if I kept them pruned and trimmed, it wouldn't be an issue, but I want my trees to get nice and big, if possible, without it being too inconvenient. And there's just a nasty wind channel that goes right through this, all the way to the back, so either way we're going to have to put in some windbreak plants there near the road, seal that all off. Yeah, nice little bird. Was that a chickadee? Anyway, all this front area is going to be all fenced in. Our chickens will be able to stay in there. They'll have lots of nice ground to scratch on, forage for bugs, and there's a decent amount of sun there. It won't get too hot in the summer, and hopefully it won't get too cold in the winter. It's my only concern, is they'll be somewhat protected from the wind there, but we'll see. Anyway, I didn't want this video to be all about chickens, but these are the things that are coming to our little farm here, our homestead. So, Zoe, you ready to do the hammering? Yeah? All right, well, let's start driving some stakes into the ground. I don't think we have enough twine to go all the way down, but we'll try. I can't find the rolls, so these are just ends, bits and pieces of twine, but we'll see what we can do. So that's what we're up to over here. Almost October, like I said. Maple Grove Productions. We're still hard at work, even though our our vegetable producing season is at an end. We've got some, here, I can show you this real quick before I wrap up. One of our last crops coming in, actually, some pumpkins. They're still green right now, but they will get bigger and turn orange, I hope. And there's a squash in there somewhere that's getting chewed on. I'm still pulling cucumbers out of this. I've stopped maintaining it completely and then just let it go, but I'm still pulling cucumbers out. They're kind of shaped funny, but the Jerusalem artichoke's just getting too big for its own good. We're gonna have to dig those things up. Usually the root veggies will last until well into October, but we'll see. And then the tomatoes, even though they're not red yet, we got to take them down before the frost hits. Yeah, so I wasn't planning on doing an update video since I did this on our Orchestrating Nature series, but there you have it. That's kind of where we're at. This will be likely the same pattern that we'll follow as years pass. So celery's almost ready for picking. Basil's doing well. And Zoe found herself a kitty. Okay. Say bye. Bye, Momo. Bye, Momo. See you later. Okay, so we found the beginning of our Hugel mound. Looks like they're going to be about 3 feet wide. So this is where we're going to start digging, where this stake is here. So Zoe, drive that in there very carefully. Don't hit my hand. Hold on. Just keep doing your best, Sasa. Keep going until it's nice and solid. Your strongness? Your strength?
Yeah. I think there's a rock.
So now that we've set up our Hugel mounds, or at least the inner part of them, got them going all the way down the property line here. What did you kids learn about this process? What is this called when we do this? The piles of wood.
Is this some kind of quiz?
It is. Pop quiz, hotshot.
Oh, no.
What is this called, what we're doing here, this technique? First day on your new feet?
Shoving wood on the ground.
It starts with an H.
Houdini?
Hugel.
Google Chrome?
Hugelkultur.
Hugelkultur.
Hugel?
Hugelkultur.
Culture. And what's the point of this? Why do we do this?
It's so that the soil. It's so that we can
To help the soil? Yeah.
so that we can help the soil so it feeds feeds to the flowers and stuff. And the plants.
Yep. I don't think we'll be growing any flowers here, but maybe.
I want flowers.
Some helpful flowers, possibly to attract pollinators for, yeah, that would be a good idea for apple trees. So what's the next step then?
So when you're doing the space of the wood, you have to get some measuring tape, and you measure.
Just explain.
It has to measure 3 feet there, and the 18 centimeters has to be
Inches.
inches. I mean 18 inches has to be right in the middle.
Yep. And what's gonna go on this side of the sticks? What's gonna go on this side?
It's gonna be stakes.
Oh, these are the stakes.
Oh yeah.
So on this side is gonna be our little hill, and what's gonna go on this side?
It's gonna be.
I'll give you a hint.
String.
It's where your feet go when you walk.
Oh, great wood chips.
That's right. Wood chips is gonna be a path. And the path is gonna have another purpose too. What's it gonna be?
It's gonna be to walk on.
To walk on, but what else? I'll give you another hint. See how it's like a slide here, how the ground goes down? What's gonna follow that path all the way down, you think? Water. That's right. So all the water is gonna go in the paths that are gonna be full of wood chips. It's gonna feed all the plants that we're gonna grow on the edge here, and it's gonna feed and provide water for our trees.
Paths and water.
So the next step is gonna be one heck of a step. You know what it's gonna be?
Yeah.
Digging.
Oh no.
We're gonna have to dig out that whole path, and where the dirt that we dig up here, where's it gonna go?
It's gonna go underground.
Where though?
Garden.
Yeah, but where's the new garden gonna be? I'll give you a hint.
Here.
Right behind you. You think these logs are gonna stay like that?
No.
They're gonna
They're gonna go to the center of the world.
No, we're gonna
They're
dig this up, and we're gonna put it on top of the logs.
Oh yeah. It's like it's gonna be
And those mounds are gonna have lots of food for the plants, whatever we decide to grow, veggies, flowers, anything, medicinal plants.
Since you said like vegetables, I'm hungry.
You got hungry off that? Yeah. All right. Well, I think you passed your quiz.
Yeah.
So, did you learn anything today? I hope so.
Yep. Learn a lot of things about helping nature.
Yeah, and you're helping yourself in the end. Nature provides.
You give,
All right.
You give, you get.
That's right. Exactly. All right. Zoe's going to have a nap.
No, I'm hungry.
All right. Well, thanks for your help, guys. Good job.
Hungry?
Say bye.